Well, I'm Karli Minnick, and I've been attending Northstar for a little over 2.5 years. So in middle school, I was running the mile, and I was feeling very dizzy. At the time, I didn't know that's what was going on, but wasn't feeling good. And they kind of said, "Oh, well, that's just your asthma." And then in middle school, also, I was diagnosed with iron deficient anemia. And in my junior and senior year, I was bedridden, which I was bedridden in middle school too. But my senior year, when I was bedridden, my mom is a nurse and she's amazing, and I'm so blessed to have her in my life. But she kept thinking, well, there's something going on, and everyone here, all the doctors that we went to, didn't really, know what was going on. And she talks about how God, in the middle of the night, it was like 2 or 3 a.m., woke her up and had her send emails to all of the big hospitals that are within, an okay distance from us. And it turned out that same day that the Cleveland Clinic actually asked her to come the next day and bring me. So we went to the Cleveland Clinic, and I was actually admitted, and at that time I was 17. So I was seen by the head of every department, pediatric department there, and which that was God himself, because that was just amazing. And I was diagnosed with POTS through a tilt table test, and that's postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, which is a big words. And the doctor, told me what it was, and basically it's when I change positions or move around, my blood pressure drops and my heart races. So that's fun to deal with sometimes. But I was also diagnosed a few years later with a mitochondrial disorder. And mitochondria are the energy producers of our cells. So mine are messed up and don't work well correctly. So I have very limited amounts of energy. So I deal with, on a daily basis, a lot of different symptoms, ranging from dizziness and just being really, really tired. I have debilitating migraines. That's just a few things. But God really uses my illness on a daily basis. I've met a lot of people through my illness, online and other places, and they are always like, "Karli, how are you so positive? How can you, be happy despite what we're going through?" And the only answer is God, because, without him, it would be really hard to deal with. So he allows me to share that with other people, and I know that he's using it for good things. I sometimes have a really hard time talking about my illness, because it's not that I don't want to share or I don't want to talk about it, but I try to focus on the positive things that are going on. But I realize that in doing that I'm sometimes, preventing opportunities for God to use his testimony in my life. And, he has so many blessings that he gives us, and how can we not be, grateful to him? And he's given his life for us so that we can have all these wonderful things. So, there are just always blessings, despite hardships. So Northstar has been so supportive with my illness, and just encouraging, and they pray for me, and that's been so wonderful. I remember when I wasn't feeling the greatest, and someone asked me, "Oh, how are you feeling?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm fine." And they were like, "No, honestly, how are you feeling?" And that's just something that stuck with me, because they said, if someone asks you, sometimes there are people who really want to know how you're doing, not just the, "Oh, hey, how are you? Good, how are you?" thing that everybody exchanges with everybody else. But he said, people genuinely want to know how you are because they care, and that's something that stuck with me. So there are people at Northstar who really care and who really love you and who, you know, want to be there for you and pray for you. So that's just been really awesome to know.